Everyone hear me now?
Now we got you. Go ahead.
Well, let me start that again. So, I actually looked up something that I said I wasn't sure about yesterday. I think I'm more sure now. So yesterday we were finishing up the Labim, the negative commandments that you can be over by speaking Lashon Hara. So one of them was the Lab of Chanufa, that we said that you could, Chanufa means to flatter. And so we were saying that a person could, let's say like a very wealthy man or a chashuv bal bias, similar thing, and he's, he doesn't like somebody, and so either you actually say things against that person to gain his favor, or else he's speaking and you're not, or you give just a couple of words of agreement. Yeah, you're right. And so he was saying how that's for us. He says, "Ifilo imrak Yosef eza tevos." He said, even if you just add a couple words, kasher yizbar beber mayim chayim, like I explained in my commentary that I wrote below, the well of living water. But al inyan kazeh shaykh b'mashenemar, and he says on this topic, it's fitting that's which is said, and this is what I didn't know. It's a pasuk, it's a verse in Mishlei, and it says, "Samta sachin beloecha," like I placed a knife, I don't know, like in your stomach. Im bal nefesh ata, if that you are, and the way they translate it is, I saw it's the way Rashi translates. It's like if you have an appetite, and so it seems like from what the commentaries say over there, that what this means is that there's times when a person should just be quiet. What Rashi says over there, it's talking about a person who is before his Rav, and his Rav, it says, if that he knows that his Rav, every time that he asks him a question, he's able to answer it, so then he should go ahead and ask. But if sometimes he can't answer it, so then he should be quiet. I guess that means in front of people, maybe he'll embarrass him by asking him a question he doesn't know. But it seems like what he's saying here is, this is one of those instances where it's important just to be quiet. That if another person is speaking Lashon Hara, he goes on later to say this is a person who will not listen to your rebuke. If you would say to him nicely, it's really not nice to say that about Shimon, or why don't we talk about good things or something, he would just, probably go on a rant and say a lot more. But so at least just this is a good time to be quiet. So anyway, I looked that up yesterday, and it seems like that's what it's referring to. But now we're starting the essay, the positive commandments that a person can transgress by speaking Lashon Hara. And like I said, I think by learning these things, we're going to learn a lot of Torah. But the main point, I think, why the Chafetz Chaim put this here is to try to really get it into our tishkas, to be really careful with this. Like if you realize what's at stake, maybe, instead of being a little loose with our language, we'll be more careful. So he says here now, va'ata. Now, aschil be'ezos Hashem yisbarach levar mema kama mitzvos aseh she'over al yedei sipor lashon hara rechilas kamo sheyadanu le'el. I'm going to explain to you now many of the positive commandments that you can also transgress by speaking Lashon Hara, that we made known before in the past. And this is, I think he means like my intro. This is my beginning, God willing. Over Gamkein al Kama Asin. So he says that the one that is goes in and speaks, either Rechilas or Lashon Hara on his friend, besides all of the, I think it was 17 negative precepts we already counted that you could be over. If that's not good enough, you can also, unfortunately, break many positive commandments as well, as we're about to explain. So, Aleph, what's the first one? So a person who speaks Lashon Hara, over al yedei zeh al mitzvahs aseh, zachar es asher asa Hashem Elokim leMiriam b'derech. Remember that which happened to Miriam on the way. And according to many of the commentaries, including the Rambam, this is a mitzvah deraisa, like to be zecher Amalek. So you have to remember what happened to Miriam. Shehiziranu aTorah b'zeh shenizkar b'pet hamid ha'onish hagadol asher asa Hashem yisbarach l'tzadekis Miriam hanaviyah. That we have to remember the peh always. I guess really a person should say these in the morning. I guess there's the list of zichronos. He says a person should remember this. Sounds like verbally on a regular basis what had happened to Miriam, and this is really an incredible thing to think about. What he's about to say. Listen to what he points out here. Shelo dibra ela b'achicha asher havasu kanafsha. She wasn't speaking about somebody else. She was speaking about her brother, who she loved like herself. The Gidlashu al bircheha, and he grew up on her knee. The Sikna atzma lahatzilo minayam, and she was willing to endanger her own life to save him from the water when he was put in the river. Vehi lo dibarnu beganu, so she didn't really say anything negative about him. Elama shehishvasa osa l'shar neviim. She just included him and made him equal to the rest of prophets. V'lo dibra b'fanav sheyevosh. She didn't say it in front of him so that it would embarrass him. V'lo b'fnei rabbim, and she didn't say it in public. Rak bein lebein achiha hakodesh betzina, and only with her brother, her holy brother in private. V'hulo hikpid al kala devarim helu, and Moshe wasn't bothered by the fact that she said these things. Shnei as it says, Ha'ish Moshe Anav Ma'od. Moshe Rabbeinu was an incredible Anav. The Afal Pikain Lo Ho'iluha Kal Maseh. Sorry about that. Somebody called me. Somebody calls you, it breaks in. And even with all this, Lo Maseh Tovim v'Nenasha v'Tzaras Alzeh. All of her good deeds didn't help her. I mean, Miriam herself was a tzedekis, tremendous tzedekis. So with all these mitigating factors, she still got saras. Kal v'chomer l'shar b'nei adam hatipshim hamarbim l'daber gdolos v'niflos al chavreim. So he puts this pretty strong here. He says, Kal v'chomer, all the most on the regular foolish people, that they speak, he says here, gedolos v'niflos, tremendous and awesome things on their friends. They say terrible things about their friends privately. Shebavade yeanshu al zeh ma'od. Certainly they'll be punished. If Miriam, with all the mitigating factors of what she loved him, and she certainly didn't mean any gnus. She was just saying maybe he's like the rest of, only speaking to her brother. So he says here, this strong point to consider. Kal v'chomer, if a person speaks about another yid where all these mitigating factors don't exist, and nevertheless she got saras base. But overall, gam al mitzvahs aseh v'hafto re'acha kamocha. A person also transgresses to love your friend like yourself. Shenitztevinu bezel lechus al mamon chavero kamosha hu chas al shal nafsho. That we're commanded to have, so to speak, mercy, to take care of the finances, the money of our friend, like that we care about our own finances. To care about the honor of a friend, just like that we're concerned with our own honor. Lashon Hara rechilas al chavero, the one who speaks Lashon Hara rechilas on somebody else, o hamekabel, or the one that accepts it. Af im hadavar emes, even if the thing is true, nira ba'alil she'eno ovo klal. It appears that he doesn't love him at all. The kol shechein, it's the opposite. The kamocha, it's the opposite of like yourself. Mivadai eno mekayim. You're certainly not loving someone else like yourself when you speak or accept Lashon Hara about him. He's going to show you why. V'araya, what's the proof? Araya gedola alzeh. What's the obvious proof on this? Dalo kol adam yodea es negoyatzmo. We all know our own shortfalls, our own lackings. Bafal Pikein Eno Rotze B'Shum Ofen Shechaveru Yadem. He said, Af Echad B'Elef. We certainly don't want our friends to know even 1,000th of them. Right? We know our own shortcomings, and even friends that we're close to, we don't really want them to know them. And even if that'll become known just a little bit from his shortfalls to his friend, and then this friend of yours goes and tells other people about the little bit of shortcomings that he knows about you. Afal Pikein who omed umitzaf halavai sheyiten Hashem shelo yikablu es divarav v'lo yaminu lo. You'd be sitting there praying to God that they don't believe it and they don't accept it. V'akol kadei shelo yischazek beineim la'adam she'eno hagun. Because it was very painful for a person to think that maybe people look at him as a person who's not hagun, that's not like appropriate. After who. Even though that the person knows many more things about himself which are much worse than what this person is speaking about. He knows himself. But from the great amount of love with which he loves himself, and he should, he's willing to excuse himself of these things, or at least say, look, I'm working on it, but I'm not a bad guy. So this is exactly how we have to be with another Jew. To have mercy and care about his honor in all manners. And it's not for nothing that the Torah told us about what happened with Noah. He drank and he got drunk and exposed himself. B'yar Cham, and Cham saw. B'Shem b'Yafis kiso es ervas avihem, and Shem and Yafis covered the erva of their father. Begam sipra lanu Torah es habracha sheberchem Noach v'diskayim lebesof. And also the Torah tells us of the bracha that Noach blessed them in the end. The haros lanu es gedulas hamida hazo shetzarcha adam lahafos al gnus chavero b'chol kocho. A person needs to cover, so to speak, the gnus, the lowliness of his friend in any with any amount that he can. Kamo al shel atzmo. So this is a person, we're commanded to love other people. Certainly we would not want somebody to say anything negative about us, even though we know there's much worse. And we certainly, if they did, we'd want a person to not accept it.